I know I said that my last video was going to be my last video of the day, but I saw a video from Jamie Butterworth. Great video, you should watch it. I'll leave a link in the description, talking about why there aren't a lot of local multiplayer games for Sony and Microsoft systems. And I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to talk about a comment I made in the discussion section where I said, follow the money. This is very simple. If you want to know why a lot of things happen in the gaming industry, follow the money. Okay? I'm going to lay out a chain of events. Now, you can take it as gospel. You can say I'm BSing you if you want to. But I ask that you just follow the money. Okay? As I tell you these chain of events. Okay? And then as you follow the money, you'll see that it makes a lot of sense. Okay? Critically thinking, analyzing it. Okay? EA last year claims that they're dropping their online passes. Okay? Why? What could possibly... Now, at face value, it looks like EA's learned their lesson and is not going to try and screw customers anymore. But, I mean, this is EA we're talking about, so that's a moot point. So, a few months later, we hear that Microsoft is coming out with their console, and we hear that it's going to be always online, that used games are going to be, non-existent. You're going to have to go through them if you want to sell your games, and they're going to control, how you game, when you game, how you game. Did I already say how twice? Sorry. How you game, when you game, and why you game. They're going to control every aspect of how you do your pastime, your hobby, your enjoyable hobby that you do in your spare time. So, basically, I would say that those two things are connected. EA got rid of their online pass because they approached Microsoft and Sony, and and they said, we have a way, we hear there's a way you guys can get money on games that are traded in on your systems. we know our games are heavily traded. We can cut out the middleman entirely and just get a chunk of that money. And Microsoft and Sony said, I'm listening. And Microsoft and Sony said, we'll put that into our systems. That's why Sony patented that shit that would block out, so they could control how you traded your games. That's why Microsoft had their thing set up that way, so that you had to go through a third party in order to trade in your games. This was done to appease EA, Activision, 2K, Ubisoft, all of them. Okay, all of the big third party publishers. Okay. Now, let's follow these chain of events. Okay. So then the Xbox One comes out, and we hear about all this shit. It's true. It's true. Now Sony at this point was hemming and hawing. Oh well, we didn't think about it. Once they see the backlash Microsoft gets, they're like, oh shit. We better change this shit. Look, take out that fucking camera. Take out the DRM. The money we save that we don't put in with that DRM, always online shit, put it into a more powerful machine. Sony does that. A cheaper, more powerful machine. Microsoft's going to stay the course because they were 100% sure that EA was going to,
sometime in 1992.
that EA had their back. Okay? 100% sure that EA had their back. So, let's fast forward, okay? Microsoft starts doing their 180ing, taking out the DRM, or it's not out, putting in a patch to disable the DRM, which I'm calling it right now. 2-3 years down the line, if the Microsoft Xbox One starts doing well, they're going to reenact it. I'm calling it right now. But anyway, that's aside from the point. So basically, That's what happens, okay? Now, EA has dropped their online pass. They can't reinstitute it, okay? The online pass made sure people couldn't pirate their games, quote unquote, pirate their games, and people would play it. If you bought the online pass or had it, you damn sure better use it, and it would only get traded one time. And then if someone wanted to play the online multiplayer or any of the benefits on a single player game, they'd have to buy another online pass. Okay, they got rid of that. EA did, so they can't renege. So basically, EA goes to Microsoft, who was like the company that didn't backstab them like Sony did, and EA says, okay, you need to help us make some money back because, you know, we backed you on this. So Microsoft says, okay, we'll pay for Titanfall to be an exclusive. Okay, Titanfall is a new IP. New IPs don't sell that well. Even if Titanfall sells like shit on the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One, EA is still getting paid. Okay, so follow the money. Follow the money. See how Microsoft got screwed over Nintendo, because part of it was that Nintendo wasn't down with that DRM Origin bullshit, but also because they just knew that Sony and Microsoft were going to go with this online DRM bullshit. They said, we don't need Nintendo, fuck Nintendo. But things didn't turn out the way they wanted it to. And that's why shit is getting money-hatted. That's why games that weren't ready to be released were pushed out anyway, which EA is notorious for doing that anyway. But I mean, don't you know that DICE knew that Battlefield 4 wasn't ready? Don't you know that? Don't you know that the people at the NBA Live 14 were like, this game is not ready? EA desperately needed that money because they knew with 100% certainty that the online DRM was going to work, and these games would not be traded, and if they were traded, they would get a chunk of that money, some of their return on their investment. They'd get you coming and going. Follow the money. So yeah, once you follow the money, a lot of the industry, the video game industry, like, you see really screwed up things happening, and you like, I don't know why this is happening. How could this have happened? Why did this happen? It becomes very easy to understand why these things happen once you begin to follow the money. Follow the money, it'll take you right where you need to go. Which brings me to my next point. They're all complicit in this shit, okay? Microsoft, Sony, EA, Activision, Ubisoft. Why do you think you've seen all of these titles going multi-plat and being delayed? Because they're expecting, like, these people aren't thinking like consumers. They're thinking like people trying to make money. But the thing is that, you know, owning a business, a successful business, is like being a hunter. You need to think like what you're trying to hunt in order to catch it, okay? And a lot of these people have forgotten that, okay? It's why Sony's Vita is a failure. Because they were thinking like engineers wanting to build something really top of the line, high tech, not as consumers who, you know, want value for dollar, okay? It's the reason why the Xbox One isn't selling very well right now. They were like, no gamers were consulted in that shit being made. None. No. Okay, this was engineers thinking, oh, this will be awesome. No consumers were they weren't thinking about what consumers wanted. They were thinking about what they wanted consumers to spend their money on. Which, I mean, once you stop thinking about what your consumers want and what you want your consumers to want, you stop losing your edge, okay? Simple as that. So, you know, that's the end of this little video. Just remember, Whenever you see something strange or peculiar or just jaw-droppingly stupid happen in the gaming industry, follow the money. Follow the money. It'll lead you right where the blame goes every time.